It's honestly like we need different terms because right now breathwork, it just means so many things that it's actually very unhelpful for people who are just exploring it for the first time. To briefly explain the excavation or kind of journey-based breathwork, this is things like holotropic was one of the first with Stanislav Grof, like you said. There was also Lenador with rebirthing, and there's several different lineages. The lineage that I've been trained in is facilitated breath repatterning, which comes from conscious connected breathing. So there's all of these different types of like transformational breath work is also how it's dubbed. And these are, you can think of them as like mini psychedelic journeys where you breathe in a rhythmic kind of circular way. It creates a heightened state of neuroplasticity. There are changes in the blood chemistry, and you essentially go into like a trance type state. There's music playing as well. And in this state, these incomplete reflexes or buffered emotions tend to kind of arise to the surface in order to be felt and completed. That's kind of an overview of this style of breathwork. It usually lasts 60 to 90 minutes. It's very important that it kind of follows the arc of a bell curve. So it increases in intensity for the first half, and then there's a peak, and then there's a long extended integration and relaxation phase. I tend to not recommend holotropic actually, or Wim Hof, because I think it's too intense and it can actually be dysregulating by having that forced exhale. And, a lot of people will get tetany and sometimes be anxious afterwards because it's hard for them to kind of come down into relaxation. The type of transformational breathwork that I like to teach has a relaxed, effortless exhale. And part of the work is actually softening into that and kind of relaxing deeply. And that's also where some of the tender emotions can kind of be stored. And then on the other side, we have let's say like the self-regulation practices. These are mostly based in pranayama, which is the kind of yogic tradition where this form of breathwork was used as a way to prepare for meditation, essentially. And in this realm, there are up-regulating practices and down-regulating. The up-regulating will activate the sympathetic system, which make us more alert and kind of alive and like awake. And the down-regulating give us this sense of calm, relaxation, groundedness. Those are especially helpful during a psychedelic journey because it's almost like you have access to a brake and a gas pedal, and you can kind of titrate during depending on what you're experiencing. And within that, there's also things like humming. The single breath hum now has been shown to like release nitric oxide, which creates this amazing calming effects. Yeah, those are the main two categories that I like to think of. And the basic principle with the self-regulation breathwork is if you have an exhale that's twice as long as the inhale, then the breath will be calming. If the inhale is emphasized and more intense, then it will be activating. And
Hmm.
that's the general kind of rule of thumb, because the inhale is associated with the sympathetic system and the exhale is the parasympathetic.